This next comedian, you may have heard her on National Lampoon's Radio. Put your hands together for Barbara Sehr!
Good evening! I just want to have a show of hands here. How many of you have ever been asked the question, why did you pay for that vagina? I was in Mississippi a year ago, and that's the question I got. And I was really honest. And I said $12,000. And they looked at me like that's a lot of money. But you guys out there, think of what you are paying for the vagina you are romancing. You know, last night you probably drove all over Seattle looking for that special condom. Wasted a whole tank of gas just to find out that every pharmacist in Seattle is part of the Bush abstinence program. Then you're going to get that special condo deal, that romantic timeshare just 80 miles south of the Las Vegas Strip. And finally, when you say I do, you'll be going to the therapist every single week from here on now, saying, why did I say yes? And you've spent a lot more than $12,000. And I have access to this vagina anytime I want. Yes, it's like that old song says, why get an ugly woman to be your wife when you, sir, can be an ugly woman for the rest of your life? Anybody here ever been drunk? And I mean 14 self-inflicted piercings on the nipple drunk. Anybody? Well, I have actually never been drunk. It's not that I'm a goody two-shoes. I'm just afraid. Very afraid. I was stone cold sober when I had my penis removed. Imagine what I could do if I were drunk. Probably have my ex-wife's balls removed. Speaking of my wonderful family, my father is a very, very strong believer in the institution of marriage. He says expressly, marriage is only for one man and 6 women. It's not that he's married, it's not that he's Mormon, he's just been divorced 6 times. But apparently, who you marry in Vegas stays in Vegas. But it seems, well, fortunately, I had a very, very tough mother. My mother was so tough, she had 3 kids, 1 of each. My parents were good enough to send me off to private school. Back in the old country, when we were in Germany, every morning we would go into this school and learn how to goose step. And then during recess, we'd go invade other playgrounds. Well, I really am enjoying my life as a woman. Even though the former president of Harvard says women are not equipped for mathematics. Well, like 30% of other women, I think Mr. Summers is full of it. The other 80% say Mr. Summers is lucky to live in Massachusetts, where he can marry a man. Yeah, it took a while over here. Okay, now it should go way out there. So, meanwhile, speaking of women in high roles, who here is looking forward to a woman president? Yeah, I am. But it seems like Nancy Pelosi just doesn't want the job. So I have decided to sign up with the committee to re-elect the president. And anybody else here? Well, I mean, after all, I'm ready to forgive President Gore for not showing up for work for these last 6 years. By the way, does this outfit make me look in the least bit fat? Yeah, I can hear the voices out there. You're a loser. That's true. I have lost more than 50 pounds since Christmas. Yeah! And you know what that means? I have lost a whole Callista Flockhart. And I do what my doctor tells me every day. He said, walk for at least 10 minutes. And I discovered it's precisely 10 minutes from my front door to the Godiva chocolate kiosk at the mall. Yes. Well, I think I have to get out of here now, but I want you guys to remember I'm Barbara Sehr, and yes, I haven't always been Barbara. I used to be